You know what's amazing? It's amazing when literal bums give life advice. Give life advice. It's great. Right? It's great. Like these two numbskulls, Grace Thorp, Ben Thorp, sitting here giving life advice. They're reflecting on their life and their situation, wondering. The question is, does God want them to do this? If you don't know about these two, they are essentially bums. They're kind of, sort of homeless. All right. You got a grown man who you think would be providing for the family, working long hours, maybe have a trade, some sort of skill. But that is not happening. He's not employed. His only real skill is running his mouth. And they have lost everything. And it's not like there wasn't any fault from Ben and Grace. Grace just rides along and takes part in the shenanigans and the antics and the stuff they do is well documented on the internet. The stuff they do is going to make its way to a Netflix documentary that will surprise the world. To be like, have you heard of the Thorps? They'll probably call it like the Onion King or something, because these two, look at it. They have not bathed in weeks. Look at it. You could smell it. It reeks. I have to make this bigger. Ignore that coffee thing, okay? I use this for live streams. Okay. I know Ben is wearing like a tan shirt, kind of tan gray shirt there. It's an ugly color, right? But there's like this dark spots around the top, and you might think that's just shadow. No, man, that is just dirt and grime from not just dead skin and just sweat. Okay, because it's not like they actually do anything. They smoke a lot of tobacco. They do. They smoke a lot. They smoke a lot, don't they? I don't know how they have money for cigarettes like that. But you could see the dirt and grime on Ben's face. Like, he looks dark right here, like he's been in the sun, but he hasn't. No. That is dirt. That's caked on dirt. What about Grace? Grace looks pale right there. Are you kidding me? You could see the dark rings around her eyes. That is a little bit of tired. That's a little bit of depression. That's a little bit of dirt and grime. Okay? It is nasty. They reek. They smell. So Onion King for sure. And I don't mind being this mean to them, by the way. If you know anything about them, it's very fitting. It's very fitting. These two numbskulls are the sort of people that if you make a joke about them, like wanting to visit them in Minecraft and all that, they go call the police like a bunch of Karens. Okay, that's what they do. That's what they do. So they're in this situation where they don't have anything. All right, they're once again contemplating, is God saying we should do this? Streaming themselves on the internet, pretty much essentially begging for money because Ben is too lazy to get a job. Grace won't get a job. So they are literally living off of the few donations they get. Do they get enough donations to actually live? Barely scraping by. Not saving up anything for a rainy day. It's going to be bad when when it stops, man. It's going to be really bad when you run out of options. But somehow, like cockroaches, they find a way. Somehow, they do find a way. You know, they say dark side feels the pig roach. These two are roaches. Grace Thorp, Ben Thorp are both roaches. Roach King is really what they should be called. Roach King, Onion King, Garbage King, RV King. I'm not sure. Tobacco King. It could all work. Okay. Incest King. Maybe. I don't know. Probably. Probably. It's weird. Like, I visited Rhode Island recently. Y'all guys didn't know that. You didn't know that. No, actually, my wife did. And she got a pamphlet saying that how it's cool to bang your daughter. Now, I'm just joking. It's, I don't know. I don't want to besmirch Rhode Island like that. I'm sure it's not all like that. You know, that's where the great H.P. Lovecraft came from. Yeah, sure. I'm sure. You know, he wrote some cool stuff, but some cool ideas. But you know, he's probably a freak too. Anyway, I want to play this because these two guys, these two people are they're giving insane advice. And if you listen to the ramblings long enough, it's like, Ben, Grace, you guys are morons with a capital M. Let's play this.
Say like you have 2 days to live, but somehow
let's back it up. Let's back it up. Ready?
Notice it because it's a molar, and you can get it fixed this way. But it's not like. But it becomes for some people like the.
So like Ben is rambling about going to the dentist or something right now.
Embodiment of right. It's gonna get me. Like I know that when I go to the dentist, he's gonna say like you have 2 days to live. But somehow, if I don't go to the dentist, right, I'm going to, that won't happen.
If he goes to the dentist who have 2 days left to live, like the dentist will tell him that. Like, what are we talking about? That's ridiculous. There's probably a long-winded story to complete that context, but it doesn't matter because it's coming from Ben. If you're at a point in your life where you're listening to him for like, oh man, sound life advice. Oh yeah, man, I could relate. This is totally relatable, man. Like you are in a very bad place, man. I have to ask you if you banged your daughter.
Yeah.
Right. Like literally your grandmother told me a story about her sister who had breast cancer.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I know
This
this
is the
one.
Hungarian mentality. She waited to go to the doctor until her breast was like a black, hard football.
Well, that's a fell right there. You should have went a lot sooner. So is the moral of the story? Maybe you should go to the doctor sooner. Yeah. Maybe the moral of the story is maybe you should take care of problems before they become much bigger problems, right? I mean, they would know. Like their life situation right now is like it is in shambles. It's very chaotic. Lost a lot of things. Lost family members. Living on the road. Living in. This is like a studio that they're kind of living in, and whatever's going on there, I don't know. But they are on they're on thin ice, so to speak. Okay. Now they didn't start there; they got there. There's a lot of stuff that happened that led them to be there. So maybe he's trying to say, hey, you know, take care of the problems while they're small before they blossom into a ugly tree whose the roots are all going into your pipes and stuff and just causing problems, and I don't know. All right.
Okay.
Genius.
It wasn't like, hey, there's a lump. It was like a black football that was like, it had the, you know what I mean? Like a ham. It had no, right? And then when she got to the doctor, he's like, you're going to die soon. I don't know what to tell you, right?
Yeah.
What? The doctor couldn't operate on that? There's more to the story. This story's what? Too bad we'll never know, HIPAA laws at all. Okay. Well, okay. Let's say that's real. Moral of the story is go get it taken care of sooner.
And I'm not saying that's what's going on here in the sense we're just blocking things out, but we had a crisis for as long as we had it. And the question is, like, do we trust God that he's going to
Grace, why would you sneeze on screen? Oh, that's gross. That's nasty.
help us to deal with
Oh, her youth is gone, dude. That's just...
those things. And I don't really see them as, look at your list of things that we like. But you see these things negatively. These are all positive things. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, what is the big
positive? First off, we didn't even really get to the moral of the story of that situation. I guess you're trying to say that's where you are. That's where your life is at. Your life right now is like that relative that let the breast cancer go unchecked for so long that now she's going to die. Okay. All right. But then you say, oh, I don't really see it like this. I'm not really saying that's our situation at all, right? That's what you said there, more or less. But that is your situation. It's not looking good for you. Like, I would hope there would be some self-reflection there. Be like, oh, wait, maybe I should have done things differently. Maybe I need to own up, take responsibility for some things I've done wrong. Maybe. But Ben can't do that. Grace is not going to do that. I mean, Grace is just an actor. Grace is just a tool for Ben. I mean, honestly, I've been saying that for a while now on this channel. Grace is just pretty much a tool for Ben, for him to get what he wants, and they're just desperate. YouTube clout is money for them, potentially. They'll go chase it wherever they can until they burn every bridge.
Problem here.
Okay.
But I know what
By the way, how many donos? They took off the dono tracker. They had a ticker going on with the donos. The donos. And I mean, I know they get a little bit more than me, but I get like maybe 2 a month. So if you get a little bit more than me, you are not living off of that. So good luck. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Hey, I'm just saying, you don't have long on this with this lifestyle. Okay? This is not a career. Okay? So why don't you be productive and find a job? Do something. With the much traveling you guys do, maybe DoorDash. Oh man, I'm probably not. They don't want their deliveries to reek like smelly onion and garbage. They don't want cockroaches all over their food.
you're saying like these things, and it will appear that they're new, but they're there.
Fixing
whether you
RV.
want them to be or not.
Wait, the RV's still not fixed? They were raising money to fix the RV. Keep in mind, they had to live, so they were eating into that money. And I was like, man, they're never going to raise this money. At the rate they're going, it would take months to raise it. But I wasn't factoring in having to eat off that money. Off the money, with the money. So really, if they don't make enough donations to live off of plus save, there's zero chance. Unless they're just eating ramen.
And the situation is as dire as it is, but I don't really think it is that dire.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
All right.
His wife is gone. His other kids are gone. He's stuck with his oldest daughter. Oh, man, dude. You're a bum, Ben. You're a bum. You got nothing. You got nothing, man.
And with anyone who says, like, why have you let this go this long? You can say, well, I had a real crisis. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's not, like, are you going to help me with this, or are you going to like judge me? And I don't care if you do.
And the thing is, he talks about stuff like this. He's like, trying to act like he's really reflecting on it, but he's not. He's not. He's like, he's lying to himself, be like, oh, our situation's not that bad. Our situation's not that bad. It's not that bad. Don't worry. We can continue this. No, you can't. You really can't. And God, if God is giving you signs, He's giving you signs that this needs to stop. The RV literally just died. Okay, I know your Grace and Ben stands are saying it was a simple fix. Okay, well, so simple. These two numbskulls could have figured it out, but and it still broke. Okay, well, I would imagine that's like a divine intervention. All right, all right, trying to tell you something. Hey, Grace, it's time to get away from your dad. It's time to start your own thing. Ben, it's time to stop leeching off your daughter, okay? It's time to stop, like, preventing, like, here's the thing. It's both these two, all right? They have this very toxic, codependent relationship. They depend on one another. It's all they have. And you'll see this cycle. If you've been watching the Thorps long enough, it is a cycle. It just repeats over and over and over. They'll have a moment where they're good. They're getting along. Then something will happen. Ben will say he wants space. Okay. Then Grace will say she wants space. Okay. Then Grace will try to get space. Okay. Ben will lash out because Grace tried to get space and call her a crybaby and flip out. And this may include physical correction or domestic violence, some would say. I mean, a DV. Okay. And then Grace will cope with that. It'll take a little bit for that to kind of set in. But then sometime after that, they'll go back to being tight again. It's the same thing. It's just there's different characters that get involved, different settings, different scenes, you know. But it repeats. That's why this is like great, like the bizarre, like reality show content, even though it's with real life, real people. I'll try to explain it to people like that. Like it's like the natural evolution of reality show where it's no longer just a show. It is real life. Okay. All right. Someone could say this about anyone who documents their life and what to do in and out, you know, throughout the years. Like someone like Gothic King Cobra, he documents his daily existence essentially. You know, he practically lived on YouTube. Just about everything he's ever done has been documented, and you could see the patterns in it, and it becomes like this phenomenon. Okay, like you can't help but to watch. Same thing here. You see them stuck in this pattern. Okay. And it's like maybe they'll break. Maybe they will. But they got you again. All right. It almost seems so perfect like it was written, but really it's human behavior. That's what happens with codependent people like this, man. All right. Like they are miserable with one another. They love each other's misery. They bond over it. They bond over the hatred towards the wife, towards the mom, and it's just sad, but that's it. There. If you want life advice, watch them. Don't do what they do. There you go. There you go. Like you are seeing the signs when it's time to step away from your toxic codependent relationship and to say, I've had enough, and to move on. That's what you see. What do you see these? Okay. So these two bums actually do offer good life advice. It's just not the way they thought it was going to be. All the rambling and ranting that Ben does, or the storytelling, that's just something to laugh at. But there you go. There you go. I mean, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the best thing to do for your life is to follow their example. Maybe. Anyway, with that said, y'all take it easy and have a good one.